Hey folks, this is the legislative recap for the week just ending here in Washington, D.C. We're going to start out with, I don't remember, what's the title of the bill, Title IX bill?
Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act.
Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. So I voted in favor of this. This basically says if your learning institution is receiving federal funds, then you must comply with Title IX regarding women's sports. And so what that means is that you're going to be basing what a woman is based on their genetic makeup from birth and reproductive capability from birth. And so the point is that we don't want our little girls to, we want them to participate in sports if they want to, and we don't want them to have to compete against a male as a woman, and we don't want them also to have to go to the locker room and change in front of somebody that's obviously of the other gender and have that level of discomfort and that level of concern for their safety. So I voted in favor of that.
Can you tell us about the Protecting Women Against Violence by Illegal Aliens?
Protecting women against violence by illegal aliens. I'm sure you're aware, we just passed the Lake and Riley Act. If you live in South Central Pennsylvania, you might be familiar with the Rachel Marin case just south of our border in Maryland, where she was assaulted and murdered by someone here illegally. So this bill seeks to ensure that we protect our ladies, our girls in our communities by making it more difficult for people that come here illegally that have committed these offenses, or when they're here illegally and commit those offenses, to either come here or to stay here. Seems like a no-brainer to me. And so I was happy to vote in favor of that because we value our women, our girls in our society, and we won't want them preyed upon by people here illegally.
Can you tell us about the hearing you had at the Oversight Committee about telework in the federal government?
Yeah, we had a hearing about telework and the federal government, and one of the witnesses was former Governor of Maryland, Martin O'Malley, who runs the Social Security Administration. And I just happen to know from my work on the Transportation Committee that their headquarters building, had an occupancy rate of 7%. And so we're not opposed to telework for the federal employees, but we don't know how efficient they are. But I do know this: in our office, we take many more calls now since the pandemic dealing with various agencies, including Social Security, because my bosses, our constituents, can't get the answers from Social Security. And I don't know whether that's because they're teleworking and they're not in the office, or whether there's for some other reason. But we're paying for this service and we demand this efficiency. And so we're trying to get to the answers of, is teleworking more efficient or not? We don't know. And if staff members and the labor agreement that he just signed allows for more teleworking, why must we also pay for a huge building, parking lot, all the maintenance, the heat, the upkeep in a building that is occupied by 7%? So that's 93% empty. One or the other, but not both. And so that you can see probably that hearing online if you want to watch that.
Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as well as the inauguration.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why that's important?
So it's important for a couple reasons. Obviously, Martin Luther King, an icon in American civil rights history, and we want to honor and venerate and acknowledge what he did, what he fought for, and the changes that have been made in America because of his efforts. And of course, it's the presidential inaugural, and I'm happy to attend. It's a historic moment, and I think that we want to show the world and highlight and showcase the transition of power, the peaceful transition of power. I attended Joe Biden's just the same way, and I hope that it's respectful and safe. Of course, I'm also hoping for some good weather so that if you're coming, that'll be a little more accommodating. It is January, it is Washington, D.C., but I'm going to be happy to attend, and I'm hoping that you will take in the moment as well and celebrate the great things in America that happen on a regular basis, and showcase that to the rest of the world, that we can govern ourselves peacefully. Sometimes we disagree, but it all works out in the end. So that's kind of the recap for the week, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you next week.